name is Bryan, and I will be playing Introduction to Polonaise by Bohm.
Thank you, Bryan. You played very nicely with great vibrato, a good sense of intonation and musicality, and I really liked your dynamics. You just did a wonderful job today, and you even went through that little memory glitch at the top of the second page. Very nicely, you remained your composure. It's good. Did you play through this at all today before you came in here? How many times?
2 or 3 times.
Too many, just once. Always just do it once. And if you're doing it from memory, I always recommend, even though you have the whole piece memorized, play with the music in front of you that one time before you perform, just so that you're like absolutely sure and you can have that visual in your head of what you're going to be playing for whoever is listening. And it also just helps calm, I think, because it's like a home. Like, you know, we're at home, this is where the music is at, okay? But you did a very good job. I know you know the piece really well. So just a couple of technique things that I want to talk about. I felt like at the very beginning, and eventually we loosened up just a little bit. I know it's kind of cold in here, but just think about using your bow more like, I wrote down, more like a paintbrush than a tool. and using your bow to make the dynamics, not just the pressure of the bow, but how much bow and where in the bow you're using it so that the music comes alive a little bit more. I noticed that sometimes when we had the long notes, we ran out of bow and we kind of like choked up a little bit, not too noticeable, but choked up a little bit. And I think that your right arm is just the thing that you'll be working on for a little bit of time, so that we can make the sound even better, so we can match everything that's going on in the left hand. It's beautiful in the left hand. And then in the Polonaise at the very beginning and then near the end, I'm assuming you've worked with a metronome, right? Do you like working with metronome?
Not always.
Not always. Okay, so learn to like working with the metronome, because it'll be your friend and your company's friend. Because I'm sure she works with a metronome too.
I don't like it either.
But it just makes things line up, especially when you're putting it together with someone else. When you're doing it by yourself, sure, use a metronome. You can feel a little bit more free about certain things, but especially when you're working with someone else, you should definitely use a metronome so that we can keep that rhythmic accuracy. I know you knew the rhythms, but certain parts felt a little rushed. On the syncopated, so brum ba da da, you just gotta hang on to that chord note just a little bit longer, like love on it just a little bit, so that it doesn't feel rushed. All the 16th notes and the triplets and everything were perfectly in time. It's surprising that the quarter note is the one that we're having trouble with. Okay, so just be aware of that stuff. But you're doing a great job. Keep up the great work, and thank you for playing. That's yours.